gloomy day, but change of a sort is in the air. Today showed that an old adage from the Watergate era, to follow the money, has been superseded. Follow the legal advice is now the leitmotif of this generation of politicians shaped by the Iraq War. The man who strode onto the political stage as Theresa May's conference warm-up act acknowledged the greatest concerns of Brexiteers.
Statement. The Attorney General.
There is, therefore, no unilateral right for either party to terminate this arrangement.
The UK will have no ability on its own to pull out of the Northern Ireland backstop that is designed to avoid a hard border by creating a UK-wide customs union with the EU.
I make no bones about it. I would have preferred to have seen a unilateral right of termination in this backstop.
The document does set out 3 routes the UK could use to leave the backstop. First, the backstop cannot last indefinitely because it is established under Article 50, which cannot establish a permanent relationship with the UK. Second, the UK and the EU are obliged to use their best endeavours to find a replacement to the backstop. And finally, if the two sides reach an impasse, they can refer matters to a panel whose findings would be binding. Beyond Northern Ireland, there is an incendiary paragraph about the overall withdrawal agreement. It states, "It is not possible under international law for a party to withdraw from the agreement unilaterally." Translate that as, you can leave the EU, but you cannot leave the UK's exit deal. Brexiteers voiced concerns about Northern Ireland, but the Attorney General expressed confidence that the UK would be able to find its way out of the backstop.
Is it possible that the United Kingdom could find itself locked in the backstop forever against our will?
Yes. No.
The DUP is deeply unhappy.
These are the 2 things it says. Would create friction between Northern Ireland and GB, which is our main market, and would distort trade between Northern Ireland and GB, which again is our main market, and you can't get out of it.
One former Attorney General who supports Remain thought Geoffrey Cox had put the most contentious legal advice into the public domain.
Yes, the Attorney General has brought the smoking guns into Parliament, and I would be very surprised if his advice, if we ever see it, is markedly different from all this detail.
Labour was not impressed.
He was banging on the dispatch box and his arms were all over the place, a booming voice. It was theatrical, but I don't think it was necessary or entirely appropriate for the debate. This is a serious issue.
The seasons may change, but rows over Brexit never seem to end. With the legacy of the Iraq War hanging heavily over this generation, the law was always going to enter the fray.